是我家门前的一条河，叫凉水河，然后大概还有1米多就到岸上。
A countless number of bridges have collapsed. Despite the rains, residents venture out in search of an elusive sense of normalcy. Many of them face vehicle problems due to electrical failures. The cost of the damages is incalculable. Billions of dollars. Thousands of factories, offices, hotels, and the entire commercial sector have suffered severe damage. The water seeks an exit wherever it can find one. Water knows no boundaries. It reaches any place and devastates even the most unexpected areas. The rains have destroyed everything in their path, and food shortages are starting to worsen. Supplying food to over 1 billion inhabitants is a daunting challenge. This warehouse has lost all its material, boxes, computer equipment, and much more. Despite moments of relative calm, the water level suddenly rises, and the river's current wreaks havoc once again. In residential areas, people have had no choice but to find higher ground and wait for the water to take what it wants. The wait for help is long, and the rescue teams are insufficient for an emergency of this magnitude. Despite the authorities' order to suspend all activities and stay in their homes, many of them have ignored it. This group of people has decided to take the bus in search of heading to the streets for something. However, they have encountered a strong current that has left them in a tight spot. However, a few people venture out of their homes in search of food. Others go to work and fulfill their duties as delivery workers. Not only have people had to take cover, the canines, in their survival instinct, have headed to higher ground to await their rescue. Schools, production warehouses, and the entire region are in chaos. The aerial views make the extent of the damage clearer. Motorcycles have been left to the mercy of the water's winds. Some vehicles haven't been as fortunate. Any structure that was safe to cross the river is now a threat. And there are still hidden problems beneath the water, soon to resurface. Large snakes have appeared on the water's surface. As the water seeks its natural course, it doesn't hesitate to destroy everything in its path. Bridges have collapsed, isolating communities. As the water accumulates on the streets, it becomes more noticeable how the level is rising. And it's not just humans. Animals have also been affected. Hours pass, and the residents can only hope that the authorities arrive as soon as possible. Work offices have suffered the consequences. Cranes that were going to rescue vehicles have also fallen victim. After the tide subsides a bit, some locals are trying to find a bit of amusement amidst this tragedy. Others are attempting to solve the problem by unclogging the drains. People have had to showcase their skills to leave their homes, like this woman balancing on a railing. Any means of rescue is welcome. Vehicles are being moved like rubber duckies in a bathtub. The force of the current is astonishing. Countless families have lost their vehicles, which have been swept away by the water's strength. The force with which the water made its presence felt in Beijing is evident, one of the worst tragedies ever recorded on Earth. Even the iconic site suffered from the flooding. The rescue team has arrived in boats as the only means of transportation. In the end, the waters will move to lower areas and follow the slope. It doesn't seem like a good idea to be on a bridge whose foundations may have been eroded. The loss of small businesses is causing anguish among their owners. Family livelihoods have been lost in a matter of hours. In areas where the water has receded, people have ventured out onto the streets. However, the situation remains complex. Not everyone is lucky. There are still places where the water covers 3/4 of vehicles.
整个忠孝东路都淹水了啦，傻眼。可能是纳利吧，纳利之后好像还有一次有淹水，超。Many vehicular passages are risky, with the asphalt not even visible.
Large buildings that seemed secure have succumbed to the imminent erosion of their foundations due to water infiltration. There are still naive individuals risking their lives along the riverbanks. The water levels have reached the tops of trees. Some buildings have reported that their third floors are submerged. The wide-angle shots visualize the damage. A walk through the flooded streets reveals the magnitude of this tragedy. The water level reached is almost as high as a basketball hoop. Unbelievable. And the news was not encouraging. The rains threatened to become even more severe in the coming days. People climbed onto walls and fences, all while watching their vehicles being carried away by the current. The rains this year have been one of the worst natural disasters in the past 140 years in the region. The Chinese government issued an order for local governments to respond to the emergency immediately, aiming to minimize loss of life. Hundreds of boats and rafts became the only means of transportation for thousands of victims. These unprecedented floods are the result of the overflow of more than 30 rivers. Over 125,000 people had to be evacuated to shelters.
这里是河北省涿州市金阳瑞景107国道金阳瑞景大石桥村的这个，我们现在想没有办法出去，有哪位热心的网友可以通知有关部门帮忙。
The water's current on the main streets is among the highest ever recorded in Asia, as seen in these scenes. The water enters homes through the front door without any permission. The water level has reached a considerable height, leaving residents stranded from one street to another. Not even buildings have been spared from such a natural catastrophe. After several days of rain, structures can no longer withstand the force of Mother Nature and collapse. All asphalt streets have been taken over by water. The residents have had to abandon their homes. Heavy rains in Beijing have led to a significant increase in river levels, causing the collapse of bridges and roads. The bridges had to be closed. Just look at how their drainage systems are working. It's like a genuine waterfall. Floods have wreaked havoc in this warehouse. It's incredible how the water infiltrates homes and buildings. The water has shown no mercy to apartments and has reached even the most unexpected areas. The amount of water is immeasurable. Astonishing. Despite the floods, some people still drive their cars, inadvertently causing their neighbors to lose control of their bicycles. Vehicles that seem to be sheltered are slowly dragged into the main current, reduced to scrap metal. After flying over the affected region, the chaos is evident. The entire city is devastated due to the heavy precipitation. The city's main avenues have become a sea, where vehicles float with great ease. Rescue workers have doubled their shifts, covering 24-hour duty, all in an effort to save as many people as possible. Footpaths and bridges have been affected by collapses or recommendations not to cross due to damage control issues. The reservoirs have exceeded their limits, so the discharge from these superstructures has affected local residents, leaving them trapped. Even the airport has suffered from these consequences. The water has reached levels of up to 50 centimeters. A man is forced to carry his motorcycle on foot after possible electrical damage caused by the water. Heavy machinery was even employed to access those hard-to-reach areas where people were still stranded. It took several days for the waters to begin to calm down. However, there were still some animals trapped in treetops. Herds of cows left their areas to seek safety. Many of them became confused by the vast amount of water and feared being swept away.
我操，又回不了家了。这老百姓拿房子